So I tried to generate SQL query using find and delete all through MVC, and I ran into some trouble, so I'm just putting a sum of what I learned. So basically what the SQL query that I wanted was something like this. Now this part I can't do in MVC. It have a ability to find functions and not put them in quote like now. However, if you put now minus interval 15 minutes, even though that whole thing is a function, it doesn't recognize it. And if you put it on, and it will quote it. So what I need to do is, instead of putting something like this, then I have to move it to the left side. Okay, and I will explain this a little bit more, and instead of minus, make it a plus. So then when I have in my head that I want to generate a query like this, oh, there should be another, then the code for that is, for example, it's a select, so it will be a find. There will be two conditions. They're going to be ANDed together. This one is the first column. This one is the second column that I want to do. These column name are just the column name. They will prepend it with the table alias. The MVC framework will. So be careful not to concatenate anything before this, because the concatenation, like for example, if I try to put something like that, it will come out to be this. They will just concatenate the the table alias to whatever you give. So don't do that. Okay. And then, so whatever on the left hand side, the very first one, they concatenate the table alias, and everything over here, if it's not a recognized function, I'll show you where to find that. But if it's not a excuse me, if it's not a recognized function, they will just put it in quote. So if they don't think that this is a recognized function, they'll just quote it. Okay. And then the other thing is, if you don't put any operator, it will assume it's a equal operator. If you have to put a space and then your operator, and it will know to replace the equal operator with your operator. Okay, so let's go and look at what other functions is considered. Does it recognize? So if you go, okay, it will be in MVC database adapter, and in this function called get where SQL clauses, it recognizes these functions. Null, cur date. Okay, so any of that, it won't quote. It won't think it's a string. Anything else, it will think it's a string. I think the framework can be better, so that maybe the user can specify, like maybe literal and then something, and then anything within that literal, then it will just strip out the literal and make anything in it. It knows that it's not supposed to quote it, but it's not doing that right now. Okay, so that's what I found, and it took a while to actually get all the nuances figure out, but that's some of the nuances that I learned up to now.